For some of you, it might be morning. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to.
It's fantastic to see a lot of international.
Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. I know we have only 1.5 hours, but we'll try to do as much of AI that we can do and hands-on that we can do together, right? So I want to cover a lot of stuff. Let's see how far can we go. I'll start with talking a bit about the AI PM role and what is generative AI, why these roles are warranting so much of salary. We'll try to understand what is all the AI that is around us, where do LLM models, and some of you might have read about the Claude bot and the social media platform that these bots have created, where they're talking to each other, and there are agents which are probably also talking about humans. So how all of this comes together. I'll try to also do hands-on so that the time that you spend with me does not just go away, you taking only theory away, but you also try to become AI enabled and ready for tomorrow's session as well. So yeah, without further ado, let me apologize for the first 10 minutes of delay. We should not spend even a minute in today's time when there is so much learning and so much potential on unproductive stuff. Let's get started. And what better way than to just look at a few roles from AI PM outlook, because I don't know how or what the definition of it is. There are a lot of people who are on LinkedIn or on social media calling themselves AI PM. Rather than having one broad definition, let's try to look at some of the keywords and then see how or where it goes. Right. So let's just search some of the jobs of AI PM, like let's say AI product manager, United States. Let's look at just the top companies, at least how they are defining it. Let's look at Figma, right? And these are the roles which are open at this point of time. So I will read just a few JD so that whatever we talk today is relevant and it's actually the ask of some of the jobs, right? And I'll just probably dump some of this as well because you can then extract keywords out of this. So strong understanding of the AI technology in the design space, is able to drive vision and mission with AI-driven experiences, can do AI solutions, and that's what Figma is asking for. So let's just copy paste this role at a very high level. And yeah. So, and I'm just trying to optimize for time. So I will not go to the individual company website, but only link this at LinkedIn, AI Figma PM role. Let's add a few more from the reputed firms. Abnormal AI is nice, but I want something. Hundham is great. Gigs. Okay, let's look at a finance giant, JP Morgan Chase. How do they define AI PM role? Develops product strategy, can talk about roadmaps, design triggers, PRDs. What are, okay, understand the concepts of prompting, context engineering, fine tuning, RAGs, MCP, agentic frameworks. Great. Discovery ideations and lead the product life cycle, and can familiarize with AI model architectures, LLMs, and methods. Fantastic. This looks like a good one, and I am hoping most of you also know of this brand. So they are in finance, they are looking for something like this. Let's save this also for us. JP Morgan AIPM roles. Fantastic. Let's just look at one more. And Descript, Gigs, Ahead, Palo Alto, Lenovo, Salesforce. Okay, one of the leading SaaS companies, senior product manager, AI research, and Visa. I'm looking if something like a Google, Microsoft, or big tech comes on, but okay, let's focus on AI research. So you're looking at CRM, understands artificial intelligence, machine learning applications and operating settings. Okay. Stakeholder management, basics, familiarity with Python, web development, and quick research. Let's look at this as well. Let me just go ahead. and have this as well. And this will be using as we go along in the session. So Sales Force AI EM research role. Fantastic. Okay, let's come back quickly. And with these definitions, we have read kind of keywords. In the tech industry, and most of you are coming from this background, right? There have always been certain roles that warrant or that come with a salary premium. Now, what does this mean for aspiring people is can they build the skills or can they really get relevant around these roles so that they can prove themselves in the interview or in their organization and contribute to these roles? I'm sure a lot of you are already in some of these roles, which is technical product manager, data program manager, growth product manager, and now the one that is getting a lot relevant, even if there is not a very clear definition of what AI. And we just looked at three JDs from three very different industries, one from design, one from banking, and one from SaaS leadership, right? All of them are defining their product manager roles kind of differently. And that's why if you see on my LinkedIn, I don't call myself AI product manager because I don't think the industry itself at this point of time has one singular definition. So to preach or to know what are all the things that a AI product manager should know, let's kind of look at the key skills or the key value parameters that are commonly defined for these roles, right? For technical product manager, and I'm assuming throughout this session that we spend time together, people know foundations of product manager. I'm not going to repeat that because I think we have done that enough in the previous sessions, and you can always go out and look at the Product Space YouTube channel to understand what product management means. Technical product manager was someone who was not only responsible for the what and the why from the customer, but also the how, like slightly getting deeper into the technical architectures, the choices that you make, the databases, the loading mechanisms that you set up, right? That was the role of a technical product manager. And why would they demand a higher salary? They would demand a higher salary because they are solving part of your engineering problems and part of your customer problems, unlike a traditional product manager who's just solving for customer problems. Then something which was very relevant in 2014 to probably 2019-20 was growth product managers. These roles are now diminishing, but again, relevant for those companies or products or applications which always had product managers, but they wanted to quickly see an uptick in their revenue or their profits. Can you have certain solutions or customer pain points solved so that there is immediate value for the end user for which the user also pays? So if a company is on a growth trajectory, a growth product manager would come in and amplify or make that growth faster, and their contribution to revenue or profit was a direct measure of their success. Then there were data product managers who would not only help make business decisions to the right customer problems, but would also optimize your data and give you data back decision making. So these product managers did not go by hunch or whatever the user said. They would go by the data and also look at your previous history to identify where the gaps are and then solve for the solutions. Each of these roles in the past have remained relevant. So with generative AI, do these roles go away? Definitely not. The traditional PM role also does not go away because we, end of the day, as product managers are always solving the right mix of business needs and consumer needs and then making your product scale. Where does AI product manager come in, right? And I'll shuffle the deck a bit. AI product managers are those who are able to use AI to be faster and more productive than additional or the traditional product managers that you have in your company. If you have someone who's operating with traditional Jiras or traditional ADOs, and project management is taking a lot of their time, there is a lot of redundancy in their tasks, they are getting lost in data, they are getting lost in design, they are probably uh, over indexing their product still on what the customer wants, then you as an AI product manager is expected to come in, show 10x, 100x productivity, and we'll solve some problems together so that I can show you how you can show that 100x level of productivity. You are not waiting for engineering to come back and build solution. You are someone who's ready and able to take quick ideas to solutions to prototypes. So I always use this connotation. Engineers sit on the left side of the spectrum, and product managers sit on the right side of the spectrum. That is how your brain thinks. With generative AI, both of them are coming to a common platform. There is no left and right. Both of are coming to a platform which is called builder mindset. If you can build solutions and if you can take them quickly to the user, ask them to really use them as fully functional apps, fully functional products, fully functional agents, and you can get quick feedback because AI will do data analysis for you, customer research for you, faster A/B testing for you. Are you equipped with those AI tools to be an AI product manager where you can outshine others and probably do the work of 10 product managers in your company? Now, within this role, I'll come back to the slides and we'll walk through what the influencers are telling, right? Let us understand the different type of roles which are there. A lot of folks, at least on LinkedIn, just call themselves as AI PMs. And I think of this as I'll just work with you guys so that you can also come up with your own definition, right? AI PM is someone probably who understands AI tech and AI fluency. What does this mean? You are able to talk the language of AI in your day-to-day life. You know what is the difference between prompt writing versus prompt engineering, why prompt engineering is called engineering and not prompt writing. Second, you understand what is the full form of GPT, which is generative pre-trained transformer. And in each of those, what does it really mean? What does a transformer do? What does pre-training do? What does fine-tuning do? And what is the difference between them, right? Metric and success is around AI, which is you don't only think of the heart metrics, which is happiness, engagement, adoption, retention, and task success, which was legacy metric. You also think of ML metrics like accuracy, relevance, F1 score, and some of the metrics of LLMs, which is Blue, Rogue, right? And you talk the language of customer satisfaction, customer growth from an AI lens. Now, we all use ChatGPT, or I'm hoping all of you use ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, one of these LLM models. Until unless we give a explicit thumbs up, what are the mechanism for ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Claude to understand if their product is doing well or not? What are those metrics that you would measure? How does definition of engagement, adoption? Sakshi, do you have something? Your hand is
Yeah,
raised.
yeah. Yeah, Arun, so I have disabled chat till we need them to answer something.
Yeah, yes,
Because there was
that is
just too
great.
much, yeah, there was just too much message. Additionally, we are live on YouTube as well, and we have around 120 to 150 people. So I'll be relaying those questions to you so that they have similar to the live experience.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, thanks for disabling the chat. There is a lot of content that you need to consume, and there is a lot of clarity that you need to take back from today's sessions on the AIPM role and how AIPM really function. So rather than chit-chatting or rather than asking your doubts, hold on. I can probably stay back and I can take as many questions and as many queries that are there from Sakshi, and we can always do that. Just try to understand anyone who's professing or is creating AI products, how or when should they call themselves an AIPM, and why when should you start calling yourself an AIPM? I always say this, never go by the definition of um, AIPM for someone who themselves have not built an AI product, right? Or if they have not shipped the AI product which has gone at least to 100,000 or a million users, right? So I'm just trying to get that clarity. So please focus on what we are talking here and try to understand this in more depth. So first, bringing back, you should be able to understand the tech fluency and you should be able to talk the language of AI. Your metrics and your success measures should not stick to the traditional measure of happiness, engagement, adoption, retention, and task success. If I was in 2020, if I asked engagement and if you told me daily active users, monthly active users, stickiness as DAO by Mao or Mao by DAO, I would have loved to hear that. But what does stickiness mean today for LLM products like ChatGPT, Gemini, how do they measure that users are coming back and having conversations or chats with me? What if you have just created certain Ghibli images and gone back, right? Are you able to define engagement, adoption, stickiness, revenue conversion? At least for Indian subcontinent, all these players in one form or the other have given their pro version free for the next 1 year, right? Now, because it is free for everyone, is the adoption and engagement, what is the right way to measure? One of the simplest answers that I mostly hear from the people is, oh, number of prompts every day that a user is asking should be measuring adoption and success. That is not correct. If you are not getting the right answer from ChatGPT, Gemini, or Perplexity, you might be lost, and that's why you are asking a lot of prompts. Does that mean it is successful or not? It is not successful. How do you define engagement, adoption, success, and overall task success of your AI products from an AI metric? That's the second thing. Third, they design and prototyping is outsourced to AI. You don't really wait for your designer to give you Figma. You don't wait for creating prototypes. You know how to do vibe coding. It's a fancy term. That's why just adding it here, right? And you are able to show that in your interview and your role day in and day out, where you are not only reliant on engineers, but you can make end-to-end product ready and you can scale them up, right? Fourth, so that's about your, and I'm talking about the entire life cycle. How does your language as a PM change? Your discovery and definition of product are around LLMs. So you don't wait for 100 customers to come to you. You probably have created agents, or you have probably created automated workflows so that the agent, while you are asleep as well, is doing user research for you, is looking at the data, and is giving you daily insights on the next idea that you should have for your organization. Your discovery should not be dependent on going and reading Google Store reviews. Do you think a company like Uber or Airbnb or Netflix is today sitting to look at, oh, what are my users complaining on Twitter, or what are the users complaining on Google Play Store? Probably they are, but there are a lot of automation workflows also that are helping them with discovery and definition of the problems. Every insight that you get in your organization should be AI backed, and AI should be able to complete your research. This is a general AI PM role. Now, if all of this is moved to this bucket, if I just move this to AI enabled, what do you think is the difference? So people should not call themselves AI PM. They should call themselves AI enabled PM, because they are able to talk AI language. They can understand the metrics. They can use these tools like Lovable, Replit, Cursor, GitHub Copilot, CloudBot, which is very popular, Claude SDK, Anti-Gravity, to make their lives faster as a product manager, right? These are AI-enabled PMs. They are not AI PMs. For an AI PM, only the first one is relevant. The second most important criteria is you have built AI features for your product. And these AI features are not only generative AI features. I will talk to this a bit in later. AI is not only generative AI. If you have worked on machine learning, if you have made the Netflix search recommendation, that's an AI feature. Call yourself AI PM only when you have built and released an AI feature. That is when you, so the first thing, anyone who's out there who's saying that I teach AI PM or I do AI PM, the foundational question that you should have is, which AI feature did you ship and for which of the products? Until unless you don't have something on your CV, or you have not actually worked on an AI product, don't call that out. And I'm again, the AI feature itself is a larger subset. If I don't know how much time we will get, but just look at this entire landscape. If you have done image classification of Google Maps, that is AI feature. If you have done object detection on fast track road detection, or if you have done KYC in banking sector, all of that, face recognition, optical character recognition, that is also AI. It's traditional form of AI, which is old machine learning or deep learning, which now don't seem any fancy, but at least that at a point of time, there were people who were knocking the doors of institutions to get degrees in machine learning and deep learning. Those are also AI features. I know a lot of people who have worked on machine learning or deep learning capabilities. The recommendation engine of Netflix, the recommendation engine of Amazon, the pricing engine of Uber, which decides from a Delhi airport to my house, how much time does it take? All of these are AI features. The gamut of AI is much broader. And if you have done anything around robotic process automation, if you have created expert systems which can fast track your existing legacy products, like I know in finance, a lot of people have moved away from manual Excels, manual macros to automation. Those are also AI enablers, right? So it's important for you to also understand which projects of mine can I put under the ambit of AI PM. Right? Then if you have worked on anything which is supervised, unsupervised, or reinforcement learning, I'm sure a lot of you, when you use ChatGPT, once in a while it asks you, hey, I'll give you response 1 and response 2. Which one do you like better? That's reinforcement learning for you. Right? If you have worked on any of these, then come back and call yourself as AI PM. If you are just using AI in your day-to-day role and you are being more productive, then you are not an AI PM, my friend, unfortunately. The third function for AI PM is post-release. If you fine-tune or improve an AI product. So some of us might not really build products from scratch on AI. You might have inherited a price discovery or a price recommendation algorithm, and you might have improved it by looking at the LLMs, or by improving the underlying machine learning models, or by changing the weights and measures and parameters. You can still call yourself as an AI PM because you have at least worked on an AI product, right? So post release, if you are improving the quality of the product, then again you can term yourself as an AI PM who is actually working on an AI capability. Then AI augmented features on traditional product. You might not build an entire product. You might just add AI features. Adding AI features like Grammarly now supports AI fact checker. If you have built this fact checker for Grammarly, then you can call yourself as an AI product manager. Zomato, or look at Airbnb, because we have global audience. Let me take an example of Airbnb. Airbnb allows its hosts to refine or improve the quality of images of their properties using AI. If you have built that feature, then you can call yourself as an AI PM, right? Finally, the most prestigious role, which comes with a lot of money, and I think the top level of scrutiny of skills also, is AI native PM. Before I talk or explain about this, Sakshi, if you can just enable chat for 1 minute, I just want to understand if people have gotten the difference of AI PM and AI enabled PM. Those who are following us on YouTube, just let me know if AI PM and AI enabled PM difference is clear, because a lot of people out there are just saying I am an AI PM where you are not an AI PM. Awesome. And India, you can address me as Arun. You don't need to address me as Arun sir. Okay, great. Let's look at AI native PM. You can stop the chat now. Let's look at AI native PM. They enable platform capabilities which power other AI products or features. What does this mean? You work on foundational base LLMs, not you don't work on fine tuning or creating custom GPTs, or you don't use OpenAI APIs. You are actually creating your own LLMs, SLMs, or ML IP, which is machine learning IP, intellectual property, right? That is where you are a native AI native PM. You are creating platforms like AI Foundry for Azure or AWS SageMaker, where people can come, and this is what I mean by platform, where people can come in and they can make more AI products. You are an owner of this type of role. This is what a native AIPM does. Finally, you are contributing and processing the top industry benchmarks. So you are responsible for defining, evaluating, and putting out the models which meet the thresholds or the levels of AI benchmarks, which are MMLU, truthful QA, live test code benchmark. There are standard benchmarks which tell which model is how smart. So you are not just, oops, my bad, sorry. So you are not just using them as an end user, but you are actually contributing, processing, and making them better as the newer and newer model comes out, right? Finally, you are innovating in latest tech trends like MCP, A2A, or new IDs like, let's say, anti-gravity, which we'll try to cover tomorrow, or Amazon's Kiro. If you are building these set of features which are enabling or which are making AI faster in future for other companies, then you call yourself as a native AI PM, and native AI PM are the ones which warrant the highest salary, right? If you go back and look at the JDs that we downloaded at the start of the session, you will realize the expectation is higher subset of this AI PM native role. You should be able to understand this and be able to create something like this. Just using AI in your current role is your AI enabled PM, and it's a no-brainer, or it's a no negotiator that every PM who's doing product manager has to evolve into this role, which is called as AI enabled PM. If you're not using these tools, and if you're probably living in denial that this is not the next set or this is not the next future, you are not even giving yourself a chance to either work as an AI PM or as an AI native PM. Your evolution from an AI enabled PM can only happen, and let me quickly show you the roadmap view which we follow as part of our learning journey. Is there is crawl, there is walk, and there is run approach. This has to be your learning roadmap for AI product management. When you start here as a crawler, you are just an AI enabled PM, where you are using the generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude. You are able to upgrade to these tools and you are able to become more productive faster at your current role, right? That is when you are an AI enabled PM, where you're just crawling. When you get to the second phase of it, where you are building AI applications or LLM powered application, you are in the walk approach, where you can transform data and the applications and use case and the utility with the power of AI, and you are actually building solutions or features around AI, right? Finally, if you are innovating to transform the tech behind generative AI, if you are having enterprise grade LLMs, or if you are building or your own SLMs, if you are innovating in areas where industry itself can use that and become faster with generative AI, that is where you are running and you understand all of this and you are enabling this for the rest of the world. So that's the landscape. I don't want to kind of run through or miss down on a lot of content. I don't want to do all slides, but if you look at all the influencers, I'm just taking some posts randomly from the top influencers which are there on LinkedIn. If you look at their definitions of what a product manager is versus what an AI product manager is, you will understand they talk about the same things that we discussed: prompting, fine tuning, RAGs. You should be able to understand LLM traces, error analysis. Similarly, as you grow in your career as an APM, PM, principal PM, you should be able to do the things which an AI PM and an AI native PM does, not as an AI enabled PM, right? Where you should start is a 101 guide is you understand the difference between, or not the difference, how the entire gamut of AI works. What is machine learning? What is deep learning? What are the use cases in your organization? For every problem out there, there is not one single solution which is generative AI. A mistake, or one of the common mistake that a lot of companies do is, oh, I have a problem. right? If I have to solve it, the only way that I can do it is by using the latest model from Gemini or GPT-5. That's not the right way. Some of them can be used using traditional rule-based systems. Whenever someone says, oh, I have used this AI in my product to solve this problem, the common counter question to that person is, could you have done it without AI? And I'll tell you why that's the case, right? There is this MIT published study for the project since 2020 to 2025. 95% of generative AI products or projects fail, right? So if you're blindly just focusing on building everything just to sound fancy and stay relevant, probably you have not even done your due diligence to understand, can this problem be solved without AI? And without AI, if I'm doing, what are the bottlenecks that I will run into before I fall back to AI? I'll show you one of the very standard examples, right? It's a brilliant case study. Let me show you that. So this is, and you can, I will also share this in the chat so that all of you can read it. This is a standard example of Uber has to design an algorithm which estimates the time of arrival, which is ETA, estimated time of arrival, right? This estimated time of arrival is applicable for all the type of businesses that Uber operates in. So rides need to know the source to destination, how much time I will reach my home. For freight or cargo delivery, I would need to know how much time it will take for the shipment to arrive. For eats, I will need to know in how much time my food will get delivered. So when Uber was trying to solve this problem, they just did not jump and say, okay, GPTs, Transformer is the next big thing. We have to go and just use GPT-5, or we have to use Claude Opus, or we have to use Gemini 3. If you read this entire case study, they also tell you we started with TabNet, spatial mixture of experts, hyper networks, transformers, linear transformers, neural networks. Finally, we landed on linear transformer, which is powering GPT today. Your organizations or your company, and they've given the reason why they did not go with artificial intelligence, machine learning, and why this deep learning algorithms did not work for them, where they finally landed with transformers. How transformers really help them solve this problem, right? When you solve a problem, first as a product manager, then as an AI product manager, you should understand what are all the alternatives available to you. If you don't understand the foundations of machine learning, deep learning, and you directly try to jump solving using just because there is a model out there, more or less it will fail, because there is data out there which proves that 95% of these projects fail. Then you should understand generative AI are not deterministic models. There is not one specific output. So if I have a single prompt that I use, Shrikant uses, Rahul uses, Sakshi uses, Raj Roshan uses, and at the same time they give the same prompt to same chat GPT, it will most likely give different outputs. So how do you control these LLM models by their neck? How do you define the guardrails? How do you set up the evaluations? And how do you make sure that your users are getting effective, relevant, and quick output? Why these EAR is what it is called, right? Effective, which is user should be able to use that output. Accurate, which is it should be accurate to the user expectation or relevant, right? And fast, which is quick, right? Why is it important for all of these three to be correct? Because if the user sees inconsistency, they will probably not come back and use your product again. They don't care what is running behind the scene. Is it a machine learning algorithm? Is it a deep learning algorithm? Is it a hard-coded logic? We continue to use Amazon or we continue to use Netflix because we know when we place an order, that order will get delivered. When I start watching a movie, there is deterministic behavior that it will be successful. In case of LLMs, that's not the case. These are probabilistic model, and in these probabilistic models, you need to understand how the underlying functioning of it is for you to make sense and actually create products. On top of that, throughout your life cycle, you should be able to infuse AI, be it writing your product requirement documents. Your test cases are now golden set and evaluations. Your planning is now outsourced to AI with deep research agents. Nature of output is probabilistic. You have to understand what is the output that user would subscribe to. Success measures are not the traditional happiness, engagement, adoption, task success. And post launch, if the model is deteriorating or if the model is going out, how can you upgrade it and still stay relevant, right? These are the starting pointers of AI product management. We'll share this link with you to read this case study, and all of this deck would also be shared with you. Let's start with the simplest or the easiest role where all of you are expected to at least operate at this point of time, which is if I have to start the crawl phase of it. If I was just an AI enabled PM, I have all these tools, I have a problem to solve. And this is where the hands-on of this session begins. I wanted to quickly get done with the theory, but we are at half time mark, but that's okay because we will be able to solve this together. I am working as a AI product manager or AI PM at Spotify, and I have this problem, right? How to increase the number of listeners for vernacular content for Indian users of Spotify, right? How would a traditional PM approach it? I am hoping all of you know, right? And can I fast track the entire discovery, development, definition part and deliver something where I can quickly take it to the users with least effort? Let's try to solve this together in the next 45 minutes or so that we have left, right? I will share this document also in the chat so that you can follow along with me. Let me share this.
Arun,
Yeah.
is this a good time to take a break or should we do it towards the end itself?
If you want to take a break, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm fine. Yeah, I can stop sharing. Yeah, we can take a break. Not a problem.
Cool. All right. Folks, I hope you've been enjoying. We just took a 2-minute break because Arun just reminded me of chai. So I wanted all of you to grab something as well. Next part of the session will be completely hands-on and you would all be active as well. So before that, I would just take not more than 2 minutes to share a bit about how you go after this, right? What all you need to know much more in detail, because at least on YouTube, the chat is enabled. So I see that there are questions in terms of how do you become AI first product manager? What all things, what all do we need to learn? While Arun has covered a lot of those things already, we have built something which is exactly solving this problem, right? So you might know about Product Space previously as well, but we do have our own AI first product management fellowship. Don't take this in a way that, hey, you need to do this, you need to join this, but maybe I would just want you to go through the website, see how we are tackling different things, how we are teaching you different points, and then accordingly you can make a call whether you want to do it yourself or you think that a guided course would help you get there faster, right? So let's just take 14 weeks as a timeline that you have, and that is sort of the minimum time that you need in terms of preparing and knowing about product management and AI on top of it as well, right? So at least the way we do it is we spend almost eight weeks on your core concepts, right? So Arun today has already covered in terms of what all you need to learn. We have actually build the course in a way that you know every particular concept as you would need to know as a PM, right? So from foundations, discovery, strategy, analytics, growth, tech, and AI as well. So we have 2 specific modules only for AI, and like Arun showed you, right? AI enabled PMs or AI PMs, right? We cover both of it, right? So we will cover tools as well, which help you become more productive PMs and build your own prototypes, etc. But at the same time, we help you become, proper AI PMs as well. Of course, you wouldn't be like an expert because for that you need to be very technical. But we do cover all the other concepts that you need to know. You need whatever you need to know about LLMs, RAGs, etc. How do you build certain features, and the way we teach is very different from what you would see on, say, a Udemy or some other sort of course. Over there, the focus is more on just learning about concepts, right? But we ensure that when we are teaching you, we teach everything with case studies, right? So just the way that you experienced today, that, okay, first you learned about different concepts, what different things are, and then you're doing a case study. Same way, every week we pick one particular module. So if we are on the analytics week, right, we will teach you first about what are the different types of metrics, How do you do segmentation? How do you build funnels, right? And then since we have sessions on Saturday and Sunday, right? On Saturday, you cover this, we teach this to you. And then on Sunday, we will pick up different companies from different domains so that you can understand how do you apply these concepts, right? How would you define metrics for a Netflix versus for something, say a Zepto, right? So that you're able to cover the OTT domain versus, say, an e-commerce domain as well, right? So that's how you learn different sort of concepts when you're with us. And of course, you have a lot of mentors that you can go through the website who have actually been building AI products itself. Okay. So within your first 6 to 8 weeks, you learn all the concepts, and then we focus 1 month completely on your interview preparation, right? So if you are new or if you don't know about product management, there are certain types of questions that are generally asked, and you need to be prepared with all of those types of questions, right? We help you understand and what those questions are and how do you answer them. You do learn some frameworks, but also how do you get those brownie points, right? At this point, there are almost 3,000 to 4,000 applicants for every AIPM or every PM role that's out there, right? So if you need to stand out, you do need to know what are the smaller things that can get you into that role. Okay. So we cover 1 month of interview preparation as well. In that, you are also given mentor mocks, right? You will not find this in a lot of other places where you actually do mock interviews with senior PMs, right? So that you get proper understanding that, hey, where am I going wrong? What do I need to do? Okay. So we help you with your interview preparation. You are also building your portfolio. So we do have some samples here as well, right? That you build your portfolio as well while we are doing the cohort. We teach you how do you build this, what do you need to improve, etc. Okay. So your portfolio is ready. We will also do your resume overall review as well. That, okay, what do you need to change in your resume if you don't have a product background? How do you twist your skills in a way that you can show that, okay, I know how to at least understand user sentiment, etc. Okay. So we cover that. Additionally, one thing which is extremely unique to product space is the kind of ecosystem that we have built. So these are the kind of people who are in the product space ecosystem. No company in India will give you this sort of ecosystem wherein we have hundreds of PMs, SPMs, product leaders as part of our alumni. So they have either done the AI course or the product management fellowship course that I'm talking about, right? And we are very selective in terms of who joins us as well, because for us, North Star metric is getting people to transition, right? And we can't possibly help a first year student transition. So we don't take students as such, right? It's only for working professionals who have some sort of experience, so that we also know that, okay, we can help you transition as well. And these are the things that we can add to your resume so that you are able to transition, right? You can check, Mohini, she's VP of product at Citi, right? She's connected with us. You can go on her LinkedIn as well and check the kind of testimonial that she has shared for us, right? So this is the ecosystem that we have built, which you cannot find anywhere, right? And apart from the course, we do keep doing extra sessions wherein you get to learn more than just what's there in the course, correct? For the AI course, just 30 seconds more, for the PM fellowship course, we also give you placement assistance, right? So we have a complete process wherein first we are teaching about interviews. How do you crack those? Second, you do peer mocks. Third, you do mentor mocks. Fourth, we look into your portfolio and your resume. We completely revamp both of those things so that you can apply things better. Fifth is us getting companies on board so that they are hiring from our ecosystem, right? And the way you have seen the kind of alumni that we have, if you look at any college as well, right? Say you are from an IIM, you would know the value of having strong alumni, right? Same way, we also have alumni in a lot of different companies. You can look at the kind of companies where our students have any sort of opening as well. Okay. The brochure, see how we teach, try to possibly learn it yourself if you're not ready to go for a proper course at this point. Yeah. That's all from my end. Arun, back to you so that you can take it forward.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that, Sakshi. I think people had taken a break, and I hope people are back now with their chai breaks done. So yeah, let's start. Um, Let me come back here. And in the next half an hour or so that we have, I just want to do a very simple thing for an AI-enabled PM, right? There are a few problems that I want to solve. Now, for those problems to be solved, um, I will start with one single prompt. So I'm just starting with this. Hey, I'm working as a product manager at Spotify. I want you to help me with solving the below problem. How to increase the listeners on da. I want you to give me 6 prompts that can help me create. What are the, let me in fact make it 7 prompts. First, I want you to help me with deep research, why this problem is worth solving for. Second, I want you to create a detailed user persona with all the details like demographic, pain, needs, etc. using ChatGPT. Third, I want you to help me create a detailed user journey on ARR, which is the traditional Pirates metric of awareness, acquisition, retention, referral, and revenue, right? I want to have an end-to-end potential features and RISE prioritization prompt that I'll again run on ChatGPT. I want end-to-end prompt for Google Stitch screens. Let me say this should include multiple screen workflows, and I fully functional prototype of lovable prompt, and 6-month roadmap for implementing this work for engineering, marketing, operations, design, and metrics using Google Gemini. I will run this on Gemini. It should have risks, mitigation steps, and metrics to measures in detail, right? Execute this action in an iterative manner. And let me know after each step if you are confident if this problem is still worth solving for. Only proceed when there is confidence at the previous level before moving into the next prompt. Okay, I will share this document as well with you so that you can also try to execute it for some other problem that you might have, right? Let me put this in the chat. Great. I see a lot of you have joined here. Fantastic. Okay. This is a very simple iterative constructed prompt. We can also use some of the prompt optimizers or GPT's prompt optimizer to make this fully functional, right? But let's start with what we have. It's a handwritten prompt. Think of in an interview where you are not allowed to use optimizer. So I'll just try this. I'm starting with GPT, but we'll kind of look at all the tools that we have out there. Let's see. Great problem. And it's very core to Spotify. Let's do this properly and sequentially exactly as you have asked. I will give you the exact prompt that you can copy paste in this. A clear stop point, contextual, and I will assume throughout that you are a PM at Spotify focused on Indian users, non-English content. So this is an assumption that it has made. We should not just blindly in vibe coding just blindly copy paste run the prompts. Rather than that, also read what exactly it says. So the role, objective, scope, and we cover this framework when we write good prompts, right? Which is TCE, PFT. What is the task, the context, the role, the persona, the example, and all of that. It has already taken care of that entirety for you. Let me just copy paste this prompt and I'll go to this. I will select the deep research mode. Let's go to deep research. You can enable the deep research. We have done this session in the past as well, so you'll be able to understand. And this is just an AI enabled PM who's just having all these AI tools at their disposal to really quickly start creating output, right? While this runs, let's see what is the confidence level of GPT. The confidence level, it says vernacular represents, listeners represent a large and fast growing population. Great. Discovery is the primary bottleneck. They don't know that they can discover this content on Spotify. Competitors are winning largely because of user experience and distribution, not only the content. As a product manager, probably I can control user experience better. I cannot really do much about the distribution itself. And then there is clear upside if the users are retained and daily listening minutes and ads are increasing, right? If research that we are trying instead shows that this will be a weak engagement, there will be low monetization potential, I am thinking this will be a problem because I don't know what the target audience we will get out of it. We will pause and we will pivot, right? So run this prompt one, right? Come back with either the summary, right? Or just tell me, are you confident or not? So let's wait for this research to get done. And you can see it has looked at all potential Spotify research things, Spotify APK, right? I will, in the meanwhile, for you also to run this with me, let me just copy this prompt for you in the document that we are having. Let me add a subtask, deep research. Paste, or let me do this. This is the prompt. You can also use it, and let me add a subtype, which is response. I'll just create the persona Claude, add prompt, and response. Then we are asking it for user journey. We are asking for solutions, wireframes, prototype, and have your roadmap. Okay, and we'll just user journey response. Awesome. So we have our structure ready so that this entire document kind of becomes your PRD end of the day. Let's see if deep research, it has given us an executive summary. I will just paste this, and here is the summary. And what we are doing here is cross-referencing. Why we have asked the confidence level at each step will stop you from solving problem and committing effort if you see at any point of time it's a problem which is not worth solving, right? So it's a fantastic validation of everything that you are doing. Now this is your persona creation prompt. We can run this in GPT itself. This is the persona that it is creating. What we can do is I'll just go here and paste the prompt, and in the response, let's have our entire research. And it has given the friction, pain points, contact licensing, and all of that as well. Why Spotify fins, what are the lags, and what are competitors doing. Your entire research is available. You can just copy this and keep it in this, because we'll be uploading this document. Let's convert this to an image. And this is what I was telling, which is called reinforcement learning through human in the feedback loop, right? It is asking me which response would you prefer. It is asking couple of personas with me, right? While it creates this. Okay. These are the different type of personas that you can potentially target. And let's see the confidence level. Clear daily listening opportunities. Discovery and habit formations are the main bottlenecks that we will be solving for. These are the opportunities that we have discovered. And there are multiple features where ideas multiple feature ideas are already implied within these problems. There can be a lot of solutions. So primary user, Ramesh, has a passive background. Language loyalty is high. Again, language loyalty is very high. Discovery mode is autoplay. And what are retention levers and what is the monetization potential, right? So if you see, it's giving you two different versions. And think of the time it would take generally for you to, let me open this up. This is, so this is one set of your persona, and this is your. Now let's see which response do I like better. It's only uploading the same one. Let's say I prefer this response. So I will ask it, go ahead and generate the third prompt. While it does this, let's read. Small shop owner from Azamgarh, UP. She's from Coimbatore. This person is from Kolhapur, Marathi and Hindi. Homemaker. English UI is confusing. Ads disrupt devotional music. Local trends are hard to find. Few shareable playlist. And hard to find Bhojpuri songs. Works with autoplay for a very long time. Monetization is low. For this person, monetization is high, right? Persona comparison, monetization, reels and social, and discovery. We will focus on this habit listener, large tier 3 audience, boost daily listening, simple discovery fixes. And secondary would be, so your primary persona is this and the secondary persona is this. It's also decided for you, right? Let's now create the user journey so that we can identify where all the solution can potentially be. And this is with Claude. So it is, if you see, what are the acquisition lever, what are the user actions. Now, this does not mean that it takes away the entire workload from you of doing the user research or the user journey. What it only helps you with is it gives you pointers or it gives you sticky notes where you can start your research, and post that if you discover something more from your user research, it also gives the ideas to your users. You can ask them their own ideas. When do you do revenue? When do you do retention? When do you do referral? On top of these existing things that we have already identified for you, right? So let me, if you want to generate the user journey prompt for your own use case, I have pasted the prompt here. And Let's so it is also generating the image automatically. Okay, so it has discovered the persona, it has discovered the user journey, and now it wants to again understand if, let's just wait for this to complete. So what are the top 3 insights? For activation, auto-curated your Bhojpuri Mix playlist, right? Push notification for devotional content and offline trial unlock. You can download up to 20 songs for offline download. And there can be work mode where your playlist keeps playing uninterrupted. For acquisition, what it has given you, 13 regional playlists in these top languages that it has selected. Partner with Jio, Vi and BSNL for 3-month free subscription, right? And scan for Bhojpuri Gana. This is for activation. For revenue, it has also given you ideas. For activation also, it has given you ideas. And it has decided which one are the top features that you should go for. For Arjun Patil, what are the top features? And for this is the final recommendation. Let's convert this to an Canva image. So your entire solutioning, potential solutions, right? The step-by-step guide for what are the touch points where users can get effective answer, and in the AARR funnel, what are the things that you can potentially do. We have not applied the prioritization on this, which is reach, impact, confidence, effort, but it has still a good starting point for all the ideas that you would probably want to brainstorm on, right? So this is ideally how an AI-enabled PM would do the user journey. Again, let's go back to our original session where we are still looking for the confidence. 1 or 2 clear choke points, activation and retentions are identified. Obvious product levers. There is no marketing. There is clear product levers that can fix this. And product levers are your product ideas that it has given you. All of these are your product ideas itself, like push notifications or daily pass where you can listen to 5 rupees 24-hour ad-free songs, festival flash sales, family plan. These are all product innovations that you can do. There is no marketing, or there is auto-curated, or your Bhojpuri is a product innovation that you can have, right? Let's see if the confidence user journey can be explained to 2 to 3 minutes in the leadership. Let's go with feature ideation. We say, looks like we are, yes, I am confident, liked the ideas that Claude gave me the 4th prompt and also run it in this chat. I don't want to copy paste it and run it again. I just want you to run it for me, right? Let's see if the user journey is ready. Okay. So this is your end-to-end prompt for, as a principal product manager at Spotify, you have to do the right prioritization, and it has automatically switched your role from a junior to a principal because it assumes that principal level folks are more aware and informed about the entire prioritization exercise, right? So now it is doing the execution. This is your prioritization score. And the best feature that comes out is time of the day vernacular playlist, which is fantastic. Let's just add this prompt here. This is your user journey prompt you have already given. Solutions prompt right here. Let's look at the solutions. So this is what it is recommending. Time of the day vernacular playlist, fastest path to daily habit formation, and vernacular autoplay lock, and hyperlocal vernacular radio, right? This is how you are supposed to follow. The first feature has to be this, right? So let me also copy paste this table and paste this as a response in our document. and proceed to step. At this point, what I can also do is I can ask it to pick the ideas from the PID because I like the ideas of Claude better than the ideas of GPT. Because we don't have time, I am taking a easier step and generating the prompt from for Google Stitch. But ideally, what I would have done, I don't really like the ideas that I've gotten from here. I would really go back, look at all the ideas that is given in this. Let's publish this. And I would just say, go ahead and look at this link and pick the ideas from here. You are not great at GPT-5 is not great. And see the entire user journey is created like this. Your acquisition, activation, retention, referral revenue, user goals and actions, what is keeping them confused. These are the three places where opportunity lies, right? All the potential features I would ask you to pick from here. You can just pick all of this. I'll just share this link as well in the chat so that you can also look at this, and let me solution responses. Let's see how the screens get generated.
Folks, we will have 5 minutes of Q&A. You can lower your hands, maybe.
Yes, we'll stay back for Q&A. We just want to make sure people who are with us at least get maximum value of end to end. How can you do this? Right. We will take as many questions as are there at the end. So screens are simple to use. Passive listening is clearly supported and feature can be explained in 30 seconds. So it's easy to use, and engineering can implement this at a simple prompt level. So we can go with next step. Let's see if the screens आपको और गाने चाहिए कौन सी लैंग्वेज में चाहिए. You can see the screens are auto getting generated, and these are theme of Spotify itself, and these are exportable code ready Google Stitch screens, right? Pia Ka Pyar is the song that is getting played, and Subah Ke Gaane, Bhojpuri morning hits, entire screens are rendered in the vernacular. While this gets ready, let's also make our screens. And let me attach the screens as well here. So these are the screens. Okay. While our app gets created, add this in our wireframes response. And prototype prompt is this. Let me go to, will also share this link with all of you. And in the meanwhile, We will also try Gemini for our roadmap. This is where I really wanted to show you the magic of why traditional PMing does not survive an AI PM. And let me, or it does survive, but it comes nowhere close to an AI PM. Because let's run this. Let me have this roadmap. I'll just stop sharing for 1 minute because I'll need to log into my Notion. Yes, it's logged in now. So this is my Notion page. Just created an empty page at this point. Let's go here. Let's try Notion AI. And in Notion AI, I just run the prompt for the entire roadmap in Gemini. Let's say I go to Notion AI and I say what's new, writing meeting notes, agenda. Let me go to a new page. Let's say ask AI rather than asking AI. Let me say database. I just want to create a database for all the roadmap. I want everything on my Jira to be democratized. So I'm creating a database where I can just have my tasks for engineering team, for my product team, for my marketing team, operations team, integrated with my Jira, entire product tracking, the roadmap and all of that should be democratized. Or I don't want to do it by myself, right? So just trying to see how much can AI really help me, right? So let me see this. In the meanwhile, just taking a breather, so to see Lollipop, Lagelu, Rajaji, all the popular songs are already here. Um, I think it does a fair bit of, you can select your vernacular language, and these are the screens that it gave, waiting to see. Okay, this is still getting rendered. We'll wait for this. Okay, so looks like some of my roadmap is ready. So phase, status, end date, owner, description, risk level, priority, success metric, dependency. Let's click continue and done, right? Let me paste this in the chat as well, because then you will be also be able to try this. See the entire product roadmap by different phases. Product engineering, marketing, design, operations, metrics is all ready. By timeline, all your who will need to start what, that is also ready. If you want to just see initiatives, your tasks are ready. What is the start date? Is it critical? Is it high end or low end? By when should they start? What should be the end date? Right? What is the risk level? What is the success metric? All of that, your entire user stories, your the lowest level of execution of this entire project, the entire roadmap is ready for you to just import into your Jira and start using it. Right? We're just waiting for this end to end. Okay, this is also ready. Let me just publish this. So let me copy, paste and share this with you as well. This is also done. Paste this here as well. Prototype response is done. And so is your roadmap. Just showing you the roadmap again. Your entire roadmap is ready with metrics, success measure, who needs to do what, when should it start, and final step, I will take this to my product engineering team rather than showing them something else, that this is how it should be built. When I click on Subah Ke Bhojpuri Gaane, this should play automatically, right? If you see the song is getting played, then the songs are also getting changed. If I cross this, you can select my language, Hindi, Punjabi, Bhojpuri, and that's your end-to-end working prototype ready. So yeah, that's how AI-enabled PMs work. I hope you had some bit of good learning. Sakshi, I can stay back for 2-3 minutes and take questions.
Sure.
I hope you had fun. It's good to see most of you were with us end to end. I thanks for the hearts, the claps, and thumbs up. This is how the landscape of AI product manager is changing. We try to give as much as we can to the industry and make you all super powered. So thanks for joining and thanks for all the fantastic reactions.